How's it going, guys? I hope you're all doing well out there today, wherever you are in the world. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the new Wong compressor by Wampler Pedals. As the name might suggest, it is a collaboration with the funk machine, Mr. Cory Wong, and it combines a compressor circuit and a boost circuit. The boost circuit can either be flat or have a mid-range push, and they're both independently switchable as well, which is a nice feature. You can use the boost independent of the compressor circuit. So for that little intro track there, I was running the Wong compressor on all guitars and the bass as well. This pedal has an XLR output on the side, so I was running the bass direct into the interface via the XLR, and I also doubled some of the funkier parts as well, XLR straight into the interface for that sort of direct-to-board funk sound. Just want to say a big thank you to my buddy Ben for laying down some really tasty drums on that. I'll leave a link to all his socials down below. Thank you, mate. So let's grab some tones. I am playing my Sir Classic Pro S into this custom audio PT100 on the clean channel with a little bit of a mid scoop for a more Fendery vibe. And before just getting into randomly tweaking controls and showing you what's going on, I want to show you my favourite settings on this pedal. So this, I think, really brings out everything I like when I use compression. It's got a nice snappy attack, especially for the more muted kind of lines, and it really opens up chords and lets them bloom. So I'm going to start with that and just show you exactly what I mean. So the more percussive, muty stuff. And then it's got a great bloom for chords as well. Even for more lead parts, it really smooths everything out. I know the guys on that pedal show referred to compression as kind of like clean overdrive, and I totally agree. It's that feel thing, takes the edges off, smooths everything out. So while my country chops leave a lot to be desired, just to give you an idea of that kind of thing, this guitar's set up to give me a kind of telly type tone in this position. And on top of that wonderful compression sound, you've also got this boost, which I've got in the mid setting, which is my favourite. And it just brings out a lovely mid push, and it would definitely cut you through a band mix. So that sounds like this. And you can hear it's really pushing the amp nicely as well. In comparison, we've got the flat boost as well. Which is just a nice level push. And as you can hear, there is a whole lot of boost on tap. Anyway, now I just want to run through some random settings for you. I'll set everything in the middle and we'll go from there. Just to quickly run you through the controls and features, for the compressor side, you've got an attack control, a tone control, which adds in a bit of spank and sparkle. You've got a sustain control, so how much compression is being added. You've got an overall volume control there and an all-important blend control. So what the blend lets you do is blend between the compressed signal and your direct signal. So you can have the compressor as squishy as you want and then pull that back and it will blend more of your dry signal in to get some attack back. So for the boost side, it's just a simple boost control, so an overall level, and then it will let you select between mid boost and flat. There's plenty of boost on tap. Your 2 foot switches for boost and compressor. And like I said, you can have them on independently or together. And then a few features that set this one apart. So you've got an XLR output, which I mentioned, with a ground lift, so you can run direct. And you also have this little push button on the side, which makes the compressor always on, so you can't disengage it with this. So no danger of turning it off by accident. And then obviously you can add the boost in. Now, obviously for Cory Wong, I think the guy has this on all the time, so that makes perfect sense, no knocking it off by accident. But for someone like me, this is actually a great feature as well, because I use a switching system. So that means that I can have my compressor on all the time and then access the boost without worrying about turning the compressor off. Then adding in the Wong compressor with most of the controls straight up, but the blend all the way around so you can hear the compressor. So you're getting that nice squishy funk thing. It's also great for chords and stuff as well, just opening things up, adding some sustain. And without the pedal, there's much less sustain, and you're just missing some character. This pedal's a really good like sweetener, especially when you back off the blend a little bit. Just adds a real nice sort of sweetness to that clean sound when you back off the blend. So if I turn the blend all the way up again, you've got this attack control, which is nice. So the attack control will determine how quickly that compressor kicks in. So all the way down, the compressor will clamp down really quickly and you won't get much front end attack. And then as you increase it, you'll get more front end attack on the note before the compressor grabs it. So I'll just give you a quick demonstration of that. You can hear there when I sustain the note that the compressor kicked in later on before clamping down. So that's a handy feature. And then you've got this nice tone control as well to add back in that top end. So it just adds in a bit of extra sparkle on top if that's your thing. Very good for brightening up a darker amp, things like that. Then your sustain control determines how much compression is being added. So obviously, like I demonstrated there when I was holding the chords, the sustain knob does add perceived sustain, but it's basically determine the compressor amount. So as I was saying, with the blend control, we can get a really tight, squishy kind of tone. So that's really clamping down, and you can hear the compressor kind of breathing as I'm playing. And if you just start backing that off to add in some dry sound, you get much more attack on the... Now let's have a quick dip into the boost section. So it's a simple one knob boost, and you've got the selection between flat and mid. So this is the flat boost. As you can hear, there's a whole ton of boost on tap. I'm really pushing my amp into overdrive now. Don't think there's much need to go more than that. You can get the picture, it just gets louder. And then the mid boost has a lovely character to it. Sort of reminds me of, you know, kind of tube screamer type thing, but it still retains all the bass in that. It's just that kind of mid hump thing. So it's a really useful and musical sounding mid boost there. Like I said, it would punch you through the mix. But again, it's also, I really like just having the compressor on a little bit and having the mid boost on low. And it's sort of a tone conditioner. It just, everything becomes much more lively. And then that versus the bypass signal. I just don't know why you'd ever turn it off on a clean sound, to be honest with you. The boost section absolutely slays into the front of a dirty amp as well. So this is my amp sound, and I've got the boost set up on the mid boost setting. You can also use the flat boost as well. So that was my look at the very tasty, very spanky and very beautifully coloured Wong compressor from Wampler. A really nice choice if you're looking for anything squishy and funky, but it also does a lot of other stuff really well without being pigeonholed into that classic squishy Dynacomp kind of thing. It's got its own thing going on and it sounds really great. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, guys, thanks for joining me today. If you haven't already, please look at subscribing, liking or commenting. It really does help me out. And I'll see you again in another video soon. Cheers.